The sun was barely peeking through the curtains when Vine felt an arm sneak around her waist and pull her back into the warm chest behind her. Where do you think you are going this early? His voice was still thick, with sleep low and husky against her neck. To make breakfast, some of us don't have the luxury of sleeping in all day, Mr. Mafia King. We have staff for that. You are staying here. He buried his face in her hair and exhaled, his hold tightening while one signed, a smile tugging at her lips despite her best efforts. Sarah will be up soon. She has kindergarten. She can wait. Let me have 5 more minutes with my wifey. 5 minutes means an hour when it's come to you. He didn't deny it. He just pressed a sleepy kiss to her shoulder, the silver band on his ring finger glinting in the downlight. A sudden little voice creeped from the doorway. Mommy, Daddy, are you awake? Jungkook ground under his breath. Our little alarm clock has arrived. Vine giggled, seeing their 5-year-old full awake with doe eyes watching them curiously. Come here, baby. Sarah padded over in her bunny pajamas and climbed up onto the bed, wedging herself between them. Her dark hair was a mess of tangles, just like her father's in the mornings. Daddy, you forgot to braid my hair last night. That's because you insist on chasing the cat for an hour. But Mr. Whisker was trying to steal my cookie. Van covered her mouth, trying not to laugh, while Jungkook reached over to gently smooth Sarah's hair, his tattooed hand waving her little head. You are lucky you are cute. Sarah beamed, then looked between them with serious brown eyes. Daddy, yeah, when I grow up, I'm gonna marry you. The two smiled on their faces as they watched their daughter in absolute endless love. Oh, and what about mommy? Sarah thought hard, then leaned against Vine's chest. I will marry you both, but daddy has to buy me lots of ice creams. Deal. But you have to brush your hair first. Sarah ground dramatically and flopped down. Come on, breakfast time. Jungkook caught Vian's fist before she could slide off the bed. I love you. He said it softly just for her. I love you too, she smiled, while Sarah rolled her eyes. You guys are gross. Wait until you are married, will be worse. Never. She said and was already giggling as she jumped off the bed before Jungkook caught her and started tickling. Later in kindergarten, Sarah was very proud to wear her pink backpack with cartoon ducks. Vian had barely knelt to hug her goodbye when Sarah ran off to the sandbox with Minhu, her classmate and partner in chaos. Minhu was the same age as Sarah with a mop of black hair and a grin that promised trouble. He was also Taeyong and Yoonji's son, their close friends, so Vian wasn't surprised as the kids were friends too. Vian watched through the classroom window as Sarah sat beside Minhu, both of them whispering furiously. Minhu, what did I tell you about using the garden as a bathroom? Sarah's head snapped up, eyes wide. Ew, Minhu, why did you pee in the flowers? Minhu shrugged, completely unfazed. Because kids were in the bathroom and I have a tail, so I used it. Boys have tails, didn't you know? A tail? She looked confused, her doe eyes curious. Yeah, my daddy said it's private, but it's why we can be standing up. Is it fluffy like a cat's tail? No, silly. Sarah tilted her head, clearly processing this alarming information. So my daddy has a tail too? All daddies have tails. Sarah looked fascinated. Wow, okay. The teacher rubbed her temples like she needed a vacation. Please go inside. Fine, but I still have a tail. I'm telling my mommy, go ahead. Vian, who had heard the entire exchange through the window, pressed a hand over her mouth to stifle her laugh. Oh, Jungkook is going to love this. She whispered, laughed, and walked away. That evening, the June household was hosting Taeyong and Yoonji for dinner. The four adults sat around the long dining table laughing and catching up while Sarah and Minhu chased each other with toy swords. While Jungkook was refilling glasses when Sarah climbed onto her chair, looking unusually thoughtful. Mommy, yes, sweetheart. Do men have tails? The entire table fell dead silent. Jungkook blinked in confusion, then realization, while Vian's hand froze midway. What? Minhu said men have tail because he peed in the garden and he has a tail, and that's why boys can do that. Taeyong choked on his drink, coughing so hard Yoonji had to pat his back while Vian's face turned bright red. Sarah, sweetheart, does daddy have a tail too? Minhu completely unapologetic probe up from behind the couch. I told her the truth. I do have a tail. You, he pressed a hand over his mouth, trying not to laugh, trying to control himself, getting angry and laugh out loud at the same time. Minu, that's not exactly how it works. Sarah turned to Jungkook, her big brown eyes wide. Daddy, where is your tail? Taeyong was now fully wheezing with laughter. Sarah, that's for when you are much older, but you do have one. Jungkook sighed in utter defeat, rubbing his temples. Yes, technically, but we don't call it a tail. Sarah nodded solemnly, as if this confirmed all her suspicions. Okay, can I see it? No, Yunji dissolved into giggles while Taeyong nearly fell out of his chair. Told you, see mommy, I was right. Jungkook shot Taeyong a murderous look. This is your son, and he is a genius. Congratulations on your tail. But if daddy has a tail, does that mean Uncle Tae does too? Eunji finally laughed loudly while my face turned more red. Sarah, that's enough questions. I'm going to lock myself in my office now. Daddy, don't be embarrassed. It's okay to have a tail. I am not embarrassed. But he was blushing, scattered. His jaw working as he tried to form words. This is what happened when you let them hang out together. I am going to have a talk with Minhu's father. He gave a that glare to Taeyong. Too late. Damage is done, my friend. Yoonji covered her face, her shoulders shaking with laughter. I am going to tell my teacher you have a tail to daddy. Jungkook's eyes popped out. You will do no such thing. Vine tried to hold in her laughter, but when she looked at Jungkook's mortified face, she lost it completely. I think we should have just one child, agreed. But even as the biker, he reached across the table to take her hand, his thumb brushing over her knuckle with unmistakable affection. The living room was finally quiet. Taeyong and Ninji had gone home and who had been collected with many apologies from his mother, and Sarah was sitting cross-legged on the couch, swinging her legs like nothing had happened. Vine sat beside her, rubbing her temples, while Jungkook stood in front of them, arm crossed, looking like he had rather face 100 Mafia rivals than this conversation. Okay, Sarah, we need to talk. Am I in trouble? No, you are not in trouble, but you need to understand some things about Daddy's tale. Jungkook closed his eyes, inhaled very slowly, and muttered something under his breath that sounded suspiciously like a prayer. Yes, about that. Sarah looked from one parent to the other, completely serious. I promise I won't pull it. It's not Sarah. Listen to me carefully. He crouched in front of her, resting his hand on her little knees. Some things are private, very, very private, and we don't talk about them in front of other people. Like when mommy locks the bathroom door and you stand outside and say, hurry up, wine choke on her own spit. Sarah, that's different focus, sweetheart. Okay, what daddy mean is there are certain words and topics that are only for family. We don't bring them up with teachers, classmates, or guests. Sarah tilted her head, clearly trying to understand. But Minhu said Jungkook held up a finger, giving her a look he usually reserved for unruly Mafia associates. Minhu doesn't always know what he is talking about. So from now on, you do not say anything about Tail ever. Never ever? She asked in her cute voice. Never ever ever. But what if someone asks me if daddy has fun? No one is going to ask you that. What if they do? Jungkook pinched the bridge of his nose looking like he aged 10 years. If they do, you say it's private and then you change the subject. Understand? Sarah thought hard then nodded solemnly. Okay, I won't talk about daddy's tale anymore. Van let out a long sigh of relief and reached over to smooth Sarah's hair. Thank you, baby. You are such a smart girl. Can I have ice cream now? Yes, anything. Just promise again. Sarah lifted her little hand like she was swearing an oath. I promise I will never tell anyone ever again about Daddy's tale or how mommy screamed when Daddy hugs her in the bathroom. Sarah, Jungkook's mouth fell open. He looked from Sarah to Ryan, scandalized. What have you been hearing? You said some things are private, that's private too, right? Ryan buried her face in her hands, mortified. I am going to pass away right here. Jungkook cleared his throat, trying to compose himself. Yes, that's very private, so let's never say that again, okay? Okay, can I still have ice cream? Make it two scoops. Sarah squealed and ran for the kitchen while Ryan looked up with red cheeks. I'm blaming this entire day on you. How is this my fault? You and your tail. Don't start. She started laughing so hard she had to clutch the couch. You are never going to leave this down. Jungkook sighed, resigned, and headed to the kitchen to supervise the ice cream because knowing Sarah, she had probably announced another secret before bedtime.